Hello, my gardening friends. Today I'm going to be sharing with you one of my gardening fails. Over here, I have my forest of allium that I did not intend to have. So I'm going to go into a little bit of detail about how that all happened and how you can avoid it in your own garden if this little mess is not what you're looking for, but you'd still like to enjoy allium in the springtime and then perhaps be able to maintain it a little better than I did. So this plant here is my mama plant. I planted this plant on purpose, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and I let it go big and beautiful in the garden. It looked amazing, and I let it go to seed because it looked awesome. It was a very cool plant even when the blooms had all passed, so I just let it hang out there, but ultimately it went to seed. So allium, it has tiny itsy bitsy little seeds about the size of a sesame seed, and so they fell into the ground and I didn't really see anything for a while. The tiny seeds made their way down into the earth and they started developing bulbs. And only years later am I finding the result of all of this. So now this is what it looks like. There are tons of allium. Most of this is all allium. It's all intermixed amongst my phlox. There's a couple little snowdrop leaves that are over here on the left, but ultimately most of this mess is allium, and this is not where I want it. I want it over here where the mama plant is, not over here where I have phlox, I have some columbine and other things. And so I'm really fighting this every year. Every year I've been taking out tiny little allium, and really they're kind of tricky to pull out of the garden. The bulbs have made themselves deep into the ground, so they're not just there right at the surface. They're quite tricky to get out. You can't just pull them out. They will snap the leaves. The leaves will come, but the bulb will not, so you'll be fighting more of it next year. So you have to really dig down deep. And I have been giving this away by the basketful, and yet still here I am, and I'm still battling it. So definitely deadhead your allium if you don't want this mess. And you can take a look at the video that I have on deadheading, which I'll link up here and also at the end of the video as well, just to make sure you know what you're looking for and how to do it. Ultimately, this mess is what I'm battling with every year, and embarrassingly, I've got it behind the fence as well. So this is not what I'm intending to do. I like to plant native plants, if anything, in the natural area behind my house. So now I really feel responsible to go back there, make sure that these allium are dug up so I'm not creating a mess in the naturalized area. So kind of embarrassing. It is not what I'm looking to do. And I'm definitely going to try to clean this up before they get too big for sure. Here's a close-up of the allium bloom just starting down there. This is going to be probably a good 3 or 4 feet high. So this is my mama allium. It is so happy here and it looks great in the garden. This is exactly where I want it. And then here's where she made all of her babies. And they are all amongst the phlox here that I have growing, you can see. So it's going to be a pain to get these out. It's all amongst my columbine, and then this is all the snowdrops that have volunteered themselves there as well. So some things that I'm trying to manage in this little bit of a mess of a garden that I have over here. So the intention of this garden was to have the allium standing up nice and tall in the springtime to the right, and then the phlox grows nice and tall beside it and kind of overshadows the leaves as they go a little bit yellow, so they're not as obvious in the garden. And then we've got the shorter columbine to the left of the phlox. So clearly this plan is not coming to fruition with this allium getting in the way. So I'm going to do a little bit of digging and show you just how tricky it is, especially with some of the tinier ones to find in the garden. So let's get to that now and I'll show you what it's like. Okay, so we're going to go down in here and dig out some of these guys right beside the phlox. This one's actually gotten quite large. Oh my goodness. So you got to dig down really far, like farther than you think. And look, I got a bunch. Did I even look? See, exactly. You don't even get the bulb. This has happened how many times? This little bulb down there is so happy. He's like, aha, I win again. This shovel is a good 6 inches. And I think I need to use something a little deeper. Let's see if we got some of these smaller ones. Aha. So see, this is just a small one. It's quite a big bulb. So I'm just going to save this and give this to a friend and give them a little bit of warning when I do. I'll do a couple more. I think I got these bulbs. So I'm just shaking the earth a bit to pull out the bulbs. And there we go. There's a couple more. So I'll save these. This one, useless. Let's get in a little closer and take out a couple of these little guys. So I'm just loosening the earth and pulling gently, leaving the worm. You can see there. This is why, because it's got quite a bulb on it, that if you pull it, it'll just come right out. Any more that I can get out? Oh, see? This is it. You cannot tug. Do not tug. It will not work. Do not tug. Dig down deep. Here's another itsy bitsy one. See, it's very tricky. Aha! And this is why these are here. Because you think you're doing a good job, and then now I have left that little bulb in there. Okay, so I'm just going to move these ones that are in the way of the phlox, because I feel that this is going to give the phlox some time to heal before it goes into bloom, and these are really kind of in the way of my garden. So I'm going to dig as far down as I can, kind of lift a bit, lift and tug, but don't just tug alone. Okay, I think I got it. Haha! Okay, this guy's out. Okay, over here too. Trying as hard as I can not to injure my phlox. Okay. Ah! Maybe invest in a longer shovel. I will put it on my birthday list. Okay, I got one. I missed another. 50-50 there. Lost another. It's all intermixed in the root system of the phlox, so I just don't want to hurt the phlox too much. But I feel that because I'm doing it so early, that it will have a chance to recover. Here's another big one. There. All right, we got some there. I probably lost some. Look at, these are like little bulblets, little babies. Huh. Always interesting to see what you find. Okay, so I've loosened all this up, so this is all coming up as one. You can see that I got one big one there, and then a whole bunch of babies that are all coming off of it. So this is the thing too, it's multiplying. It's multiplying, which is good in certain spots, but not this one. Even this small bulb is creating little bulblets or little babies right beside it. So it's pretty aggressive. And for some that might be perfect, but not for me in this particular spot in my garden. So you can see that I have taken out quite a chunk of them, but I still got a lot more to do. I'm going to make sure that I tidy this up in a way I feel happy with, and then I really have the responsibility of tidying up my mess back here. I've got, despite the branches and whatnot, the allium itself is going to multiply, and it's not native to this area. So I'm going to do my part and make sure I clean up my mess from back there. Here are my pullings. I would say I got about maybe 60 to 70% of the bulbs that I pulled. I was mostly just frustrated at the ones that I missed, but you can see that they are multiplying. So I definitely got to get on this sooner or later. So learn from me. This is not what I was intending. If this is what you'd like and you'd like a whole bunch of allium, then go to it, let it go to seed. But if you would like it a little bit more contained, then definitely learn from me and deadhead your allium. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found the video interesting and helpful. If you liked it or learned a little something, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more gardening adventures and tips just like this. Thanks again and happy gardening. Okay, I'm just going to show you here because I might be able to get this one, but it's probably, just don't pull them. Just don't.